What's going on, everybody? It's Professor Zeus, and I'm back with another video. Yo, if this is your first time at the channel, just know I greatly appreciate you for stopping by. Go ahead and hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. We are taking the humble route. A lot of people are watching my videos, but the issue is nobody's subscribing. So go ahead and subscribe. It greatly helps the channel out. And that's kind of actually diving into what I'd like to talk about today. The topic of today's discussion is, perseverance and discipline. And I'll just try to be as honest as I can be. My YouTube growth has, for lack of better words, been stalling lately. And the algorithm isn't pushing my videos like it used to, and it's a little frustrating. And yesterday, I was planning on dropping a video, but I actually took the whole day off to kind of step back, rethink my strategy and come up with a game plan. Most people at this time in their journey would just, throw in the towel, right? But unfortunately, I can't do that, and you can't do that either. You know what I mean? So today, we're talking about why showing up even when you don't feel like it is the key to breaking through. So let's get into it, right? So I'm gonna keep it 100, right? Building a YouTube channel or chasing any dream, big, small, whichever, it's not all about, or it isn't, all sunshines and rainbows. I've been trying to hustle. I've been grinding on this platform, pouring my heart into, videos. But lately, the views are extremely abysmal and flatlining. The algorithm seems to have forgotten about me, right? And that could sound familiar to you and your situation, but maybe you're chasing a goal, whether it's starting a business, getting fit, or growing your own YouTube channel, and you just you hit a wall. And for me, yesterday I had to hit a pause. I had to hit the pause button. I didn't post, I didn't edit, I didn't even open up my laptop except to do to work. I just needed a real day, to clear my mind and figure out what's next. And you know what I figured out and what I realized is, that's okay. Taking a moment to step back and strategize, that's not quitting. It's essentially you're just regrouping. And the thing is, when most people, when they hit this kind of slump, they don't just take the day off, right? They walk away for good. They let frustration win. And that's where, perseverance and discipline have to come in. Perseverance is about, it isn't about feeling motivated every day. It's about showing up even when you're tired, even when you're discouraged, or when you start doubting yourself. You know what I mean? And discipline, that's the muscle that actually gets you to do what you need to do. So why, keep showing up even though the results aren't there? Because every video you make, every step you take, every hour you're working on something, it goes towards building something bigger. And if you think about it, every successful YouTuber, like Mr. Beast, whoever your favorite YouTubers are, just look at them. They've had moments where they probably wanted to quit, but they didn't. They kept posting, they kept tweaking, they kept editing, they kept learning. And for me, yesterday's break wasn't about, necessarily giving up. It was about coming back stronger. And I spent the day researching trends, analyzing my own analytics, and I just been trying to sketch out new video ideas, and that's discipline. Doing the work even when it's not glamorous. And the truth is, the YouTube algorithm, it might not reward you today, but consistency compounds. One video might flop today, but the next one could be the one that pops off. And for me, my most viewed video, I still to this day, I'm still trying to figure out what I did right, was the video that I covered about the two high school girls who were in the track meet, where the one girl hit her upside the head with a baton. For some reason, that is my most watched video on YouTube. Maybe it's because of how I covered it. Maybe it's because of how I, gave my own nuance, my own opinion about it. but for whatever reason, that is my most watched video. And I have things that I'd like to cover with you guys, different things that's going on in the world, as much value that I can provide you guys as much as I can, but that's not really resonating, right? So you can't just you don't really know what's going to pop off until it really pops off, because you don't know unless you keep going. And showing up realistically, it's not about planting seeds. Because when you plant the seed, you don't see the tree or the plant right away. But every seed that you plant is progress. And the more you plant, the better your chances are of getting something to grow. And that's the reality of it, right? Okay, so, how do you actually, show up when you're feeling unmotivated? Let's try to break it down in 3 practical steps that I'm trying to use to stay disciplined, even with, my YouTube setup. Number 1, just, starting small. You don't need to film a Hollywood level video every day, right? Some days, just write a script, edit for 30 minutes, or reply to some comments. Small actions can keep the momentum going. And for me, I'm committing to at least one annual, I said one annual, 1 hour of channel work daily, no matter what. So whether it's, going back, looking at my thumbnails, maybe editing a thumbnail, changing it back, different things like that. Just committing some time to it every single day. Number 2, try to create a routine, right? Discipline thrives off of structure, right? And I've started blocking out specific times for brainstorming, filming, and editing. Even if I don't feel like it, I sit down at the same time every day and try to come up with something, right? It's like brushing your teeth. You just do it because you have to do it if you want to keep your teeth clean and healthy. Number 3, try to focus on the process and not necessarily the outcome. So I used to obsess over views, subscribers, but I've realized like that's a trap. Now I'm focusing on making videos that I'm proud of, right? The algorithm might not love me right now, but I'm betting on myself long term. Because the thing is, discipline, it's not sexy, but it's powerful. And it's what separates the people who quit from the people who make it. And if we want to talk about perseverance, just for a quick second, perseverance is what keeps you going when the odds are stacked against you, right? Perseverance is what keeps you going when your back is up against the wall and you just don't know what to do, right? And right now, YouTube isn't pushing my videos as much as I'd like for them to, but I'm not here for the instant gratification, right? I'm here to build something genuine, something authentic, and something real. And you know what? Every video that I post is a step towards that, right? Now, think about your own goals. Maybe you're not seeing progress as fast as you want, but every day that you show up, you're proving something not to us, but to yourself, right? You're proving you're tougher than any setback that can be thrown in your face. And for me, getting back to work after, taking a break yesterday feels like a small victory, right? I'm essentially saying, I'm not done yet. And the crazy thing is, the moment just before a breakthrough happens is when things start to feel the hardest. So right when you feel like you're like you can't keep going, if you just show up, that's when the breakthrough happens. So if you're struggling right now, you actually might be closer than you think. So just keep showing up. But all right, you guys, that's the game plan, perseverance and discipline. I'm not giving up on this channel, and I hope you're not giving up on your dreams either. Let's keep trying to show up, even when it's hard. Yesterday I had to take the time to regroup and rethink and re-strategize, and today I'm back at it, stronger, more focused. But I also want to hear from you guys. What's one thing you're doing to stay disciplined with your goals? Let me know in the comments. Let's try to inspire each other. And if this video resonated with you and it hit home, Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you always get notified when I drop a new video. I'm not slowing down anytime soon. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for rocking with me. And never ever forget, it's you and I verse. Information, application, execution. Until next time, peace.